Shemai, how are you all? Happy Friday to you all. I can't believe how quickly this week has gone. And it's a very wet, miserable Friday night out there, so it's quite nice to be couched up in my craft room. So tonight I've got a technique called, you see here, a curtain fold, which is, if I tip the card up a little bit, you can see how the paper's folded. I've been fancying trying this technique for ages, so this is probably the third card I've made now. It took me a little bit of time to alter the measurements to fit my card base, because as I said previously, I often buy blank cards from Craft Creations, and this card is actually 8 inches by 6 inches. So I played around with the strip of paper that I need. So let's just go through the products I'm using tonight. All Stampin' Up again. As I've said before, I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and have been for almost 6 years now. So the first stamp set is the Pop of Petals, which is in the main annual catalogue. And this is a lovely one for people who might be new to card making and stamping, because it comes with a punch rather than framelets. So that's the one set we're using. My mum somehow had managed to miss this set completely when she looked through the annual catalogue, but she'll be rectifying it soon. I'm also using the lovely Butterfly Gala punch from the Spring Summer Occasions catalogue. This is lovely. It matches this stamp set here, but the other fantastic thing is it'll also punch out some of the papers from Celebration. Remember, you get to choose 3 items from Celebration for every £45 order you put through, minus your shipping charges. I'm also using some of the lovely Organdy ribbon combo pack. I'm using the Highland Heather. I love these colours. I must be honest, I think this will probably be the only reel of ribbons that I'll actually finish. So I'll put all those to one side. And the papers that match the punch, as you can see, I've chomped into this one quite a bit. These ones will fit the big punch. However, you don't want to waste your paper by punching out the little one as well. So if I were you, I would cut carefully, like a little bit of a square around the butterflies you're going to cut out. And I've got a little tip to show you then to make sure you can punch them out easily. So I've also done a little bit of preparation, but the most important part is the curtain fold. So let me show you how I did that. So I've got a sheet. This is one of the lovely sheets from the pack. Black on the back and Highland Heather with like an outline pattern on the front. Or whichever way around, whichever way you think is the front and the back. So with my trimmer, I'm going to cut it down to 10 and 3/4 inches. I shall keep that little strip because that'll come in handy for something. Then I'm going to cut it to 4 inches. There we go. Now for this one I can get another 2 of these 4-inch sections out, but also from each section then you'll get 2 curtain folds. So at least then there's 6 pieces I can get out of a 12 by 12 piece. I'm just going to put the trimmer to one side. You can use your trimmer for this, but I'm finding it a little bit easier with my ruler. You're going to come 1 inch from the one side. Here we go. I'm just putting a little line there. Turn your paper around and you're going to come 1 inch from that side as well. So if you notice now, I've got a mark in this corner and then a mark in this corner, and what I need to do then is cut from that corner to that corner. So bring my trimmer back in, let's put the arm down, and you're going to line it up, one there, bring it round so it lines up, and cut in. There we go. So can you see now I've got 2 pieces like this. I'm going to bring my scoring board in. My scoring board has never seen so much use. And because, as I say, I've got a slightly bigger card than some of the other demos. I've been watching a few demonstrations on YouTube for this technique, and they've made smaller cards. But because my card was bigger, I wanted a piece then that would go from the one edge to the other edge. So I'm going to score at 1 inch, 1.5. This is thinner paper, so make sure you don't press down too hard, otherwise you'll tear it. 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 5 inches, 5.5 inches, 7 inches, 7.5 inches, 9 inches, and 9.5 inches. Okay, so then move that back out the way. We're going to do the folding. So this takes a little bit of thought. So you're going to fold. No, I've just done that wrong. There we go. You're going to fold in on the first fold line and then fold down on the next one. So that would be valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. You wouldn't believe how long I've spent practicing these with bits of old pieces of paper. It is quite good. If you want to have a little try of it first, use some paper that you don't mind if you mess up something from your scraps box or something. So it's important then, we want nice crisp folds. So I'm going to use my bone folder now and just come down, and also try and keep the top of your paper here straight. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain is hitting my windows quite fiercely outside. So there we go, it's all folded now. So if you tip over, that's the back of it. But on the front then, as you can see then, you can see a little peek of the back piece. It does work better with double-sided paper, because then you've got both elements. On the back then, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either put a little bit of adhesive in all those pieces there, or you can, it's still ensuring that you're trying to keep it as straight as possible, use a bit of double-sided tape and just go across the back. But as I say, try and keep the top of it straight. There we go. Now then, as you can see, it is sort of buckling a little bit, but when we add the piece of card onto it, this piece of card here, then that'll keep it all in place. So I'm pretty sure I've cut one somewhere, but I can't appear to find it. Let's have a little look what I've done with it. Well, after searching high and low in my craft room, it was, of course, at the top of the bin. So here's my little strip of black card. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to be sticking that down so it'll give this a little bit of sturdiness then. First thing I need to do, I'm going to stick a little bit of the ribbon across it. So just using a little tiny bit of double-sided tape across here. Once again, excuse my croaky voice. We've been doing parent presentations in school today, then I did assembly. So my voice has had a little bit of a bashing today. And of course, I sing most days in nursery. I'm just going to put my ribbon across there, flip it over, make sure that it's pretty straight, and put it across there. After watching my videos, I've realised, even though I'm a lefty, I had my tool caddy on the right hand side of my desk. So I said to my husband, well, that's just daft because I'm just stretching across myself. And now I put it on the left hand side of my desk, and I've realised I've started using my right hand to get everything out with. Not so queer as folk. So before I stick that down, I'm going to put the backing card onto my card blank with my ATG. There we are. I'll put all the measurements then that I've used in the description below, not the directions as I keep calling them. Then this part is a little bit more fiddly, I think. I'm going to put a little bit of ATG again, a little bit of double-sided across the back of this, and then I'm going to carefully, once again trying to get it straight, stick that down. So it acts like a little bit like a waistband on a skirt, I would say. Just gives it a little bit of extra security. And I've just realised that I should have cut my paper a little bit smaller there, because I can see it a little bit of the underneath popping through. But that's okay, I'm going to put a butterfly there instead. There's not much that you can't cover with either a well-placed flower or a well-placed butterfly. And as I say in my card class, it's just a piece of paper. When the girls say, oh, I've done this wrong, I cut this too short, it's just a piece of paper. If we're going to get stressed over it, we're not going to enjoy it. I'm going to, once I stick all these down then, I'm going to add the flowers using the Pop of Petals. And I'm using, the colours I'm using are Daffodil Delight. Oh, before I stick that down, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Balmy Blue and Highland Heather. And what I'm going to do, I need to try to find out where I'm going to be, because I haven't stamped my leaves. It's lucky I noticed. I still could have done it afterwards, but it would have been a bit more fiddly. So I'm going to go for this one here. Bit of a fern type leaf from Pop of Petals. And I'm going to stamp that in Lemon Lime Twist. Excuse the heating kicking in again in the background. There we are. I'm used to the sound of it, but when I watch it back at the videos I can hear it. I was thinking people must wonder what it is. So just some randomly placed leaves across there. Then I can now stick this down. So I'm coming up from the bottom. There it is. There's a little skirt there. I've cut the flowers ready, but I wanted to show you a little tip just to give your flowers a little bit of shape. I saw this on a YouTube video myself. So using a bit of foam, this is the one I go with my Sizzix brush. Using the end of my Tombow glue, I'm just going to poke in the middle. And if you can see then, the petals pick up and give it more of dimension then. More of a 3D shape. There we go. How easy is that? I used to do it before using like my bone folder and moving them around, but it's much simpler that way. So here's some of the other flowers that I have put my foam pads on ready. And I'm then just going to, I'm just going to curl them back up again then, because they've been sat in a dish. Start applying these. I love these spring colours. That's the lovely thing about Stampin' Up. All the colours coordinate so well. To choose my colours, I looked at the back of the paper pack. If I just show you, it tells you then on the back of each designer paper, it tells you, I don't know, it'll focus on this, it tells you all the colours that are used. So that makes it much easier when you want to decide which ink to use, because you know it's going to coordinate then. So it takes all the hard work out of it for you. I'll just add a few more then to these. There we go. I try to stick to odd numbers because apparently odd numbers make designs more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. There we are. I'm just going to add some sequins then to the centre of my flowers. Oh, look at that. I said about odd numbers and then I've just put even number of flowers on there. And I did a maths presentation in school today. You'd think that I'd be mathematically minded tonight. There we go. Then a couple of the butterflies ready cut out. I must say, making YouTube videos is far less scary than doing maths presentations to a group of parents. The parents, in all fairness, were absolutely fantastic, as were the children. I can stand and talk to children all day long. As soon as you put me in a group of adults, that's when I start to panic more. So let me show you a little trick now. This is my little butterfly here. As you can see, I've cut it into quite a small shape, so I don't waste any paper. So I'm bringing in my punch, using the, I think it's Take Your Pick from Stampin' Up. If you look, it's got a little tiny bit of sticky blue tack at the bottom. I'm going to just manoeuvre this little butterfly into place, hold him there and punch him out. That's much easier. Usually I'm sort of taking ages and ages with my fingers trying to move him around and then they stick to your fingers. And put him there. There he goes. I'm going to put the sequins then in the centre of my flowers. I'm just going to choose a sentiment then. And that's another card made. There we are. I'm just hoping this rain stops for parkering in the morning, otherwise I'll get very, very soggy feet on the rest of me. So that's the card now. Pretty much finished. I'm just going to stamp my sentiment, and it says my sentiment is from All That You Are, which is also in the Occasions catalogue. And I'm going to use Flowers Bloom All For You. And then it could be birthdays, it could be Mother's Day. You can choose whichever occasion then. I'm going to stamp this down in the corner. Make sure I haven't got it upside down or anything. There we go. And there's the card all finished. So as you can see then, there's the little pop of black coming through on the curtain fold. So let's just remind ourselves what we've been using. We have used All That You Are from the Occasions catalogue, Pop of Petals and Punch from the main catalogue, the Butterfly Gala Punch from the Occasions catalogue, and the Botanical Butterflies. I think I've just forgotten the name of it. Let's have a look. No, yeah, that's right. Botanical Butterfly Designer Paper to create our interest, and the organdy ribbon. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to welcome all my subscribers. I've now hit 160. I'd love to have any more, so if you are interested in seeing what else I get up to, please